This is the Underground World News Live, coming at you here on this 6/24/2026. And we've got quite a bit of action popping off with things that are breaking, developing, and just a lot to cover as always. Going to try to knock it out here in a couple hours. I do appreciate everyone that shares the stream. Censorship and no notifications going out has been a huge thing here lately. It doesn't end. So the only way to counter that is to have people share it. Like y'all, they can reach people that I can't. So I do appreciate it. Thank you, Steely, right out the gate for the super chat. Appreciate it to the fullest. Kenzo, Sweet Barb, Lisa. Thank you, Steve, for all the information on the earthquakes. Obviously going to touch on that. E Fitz, all the mods, Deanne, Crown Jewels, Gora over on Rumble. Holding it down. Everybody on all platforms. I think I added Twitch in there even tonight. I forgot I even had an account. Never really used it, but I'm just trying to make sure that I'm utilizing all the slots they give me to be able to stream everywhere I can right now. D. White in the house. Much love, my brother. Thank you for everything as well. We're going to get this popping off here with a quick update on space, as I always do. And this is a look at the sunspots real quick. We've got a massive monster coming over the limb. It's apparently been very active. They've seen flares coming off the backside of the sun here recently. An increase in solar activity always equates to an uptick in earthquake activity. You can see that we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We've got like 7, 8 of them facing us right now. And when this big one comes around the edge, it's going to be capable of popping off X flares, and they could be Earth directed. So if you guys got any shots, any beautiful shots, you can also send any information. Dabu7@yahoo.com is the email. And if you want to try to get my attention there in the chat, you can @ me and it lights it up in red. Again, I thank everyone that supports the channel, super chats, anyone that buys a coffee, PayPal, all that, truly appreciated to the fullest. Let's dive in to the earthquake maps and look at what's going on here. We got a lot of damage. I'm going to share with you guys some footage. I got a lot over on the X feed I was just pumping out. That's why it's wise to follow me there for breaking news. But let's look at a couple things here. Before I get to Venezuela, let's go over here and look at Japan. Japan got hit and it kind of got overshadowed. I don't think that they got anywhere near the kind of damage we're seeing coming out of Venezuela. But it shows that we've got something going on here. Over the years covering earthquakes, this is kind of the odd thing that I've seen. When you get big quakes that hit in one spot, it could trigger plates on the other side of the planet, so to speak, and activate faults. You just never know what's ready to go. You got a bunch of strike slip faults out there that are just hanging barely in some instances. And when they go, it's a lot of energy. When Southern California goes, it's going to be a bad one. It's overdue. I've been speaking on that left and right. I mention that because if we go over here, we can see that something's going on here. And you can see that it's even responding to the big quakes. Like right after the big quake hit in Venezuela, the same area that had quakes, big quakes here in California before the quakes hit Venezuela, it's hitting. Just fell off the map. But it's swarming. So whenever you have big quakes like pop off around the same time and they're kind of interacting, you got to pay attention to that. When Southern California comes unzipped, it's going to be a nightmare situation. There's no doubt about it. I've covered extensively all this. The Cascadia all the way up off the coastline up into the BC, the Juan de Fuca plate that zigzags right there. You can even see it right there. And then the San Andreas that runs down, and it hits in a couple different places. The Hayward fault line is a key trigger on the other side of San Francisco and the Bay here. It's one to watch. And man, it could come unzipped all the way down through Bakersfield, the Salton Sea. And the Salton Sea is key if you don't know. I might as well add in there. 9 out of 10 out of the last big earthquakes that have hit in the area have seen a lot of water weight around the Salton Sea in this region. Indio, Cathedral City, Palm Desert. This is where the fault kind of comes down and runs into this area. And they say that they believe a lot of flooding and water weight throughout history many times set off this fault line. So it's one thing to watch always. You don't really have to worry about that right now, I don't think. I know there's not a lot of snowpack melting off. We're in a drought condition, but this is a different setup. We've got mid Northern California getting hit with this one in an odd location that we haven't seen any activity out of here as of late. You see it up here off Eureka, off the coastline, but like this is something, again, worth watching, especially with the devastating quakes striking. I'm also going to add in out here right off the coast, out here in a very interesting area that I'm putting together a video on still. Have not had a chance to drop it. I don't want to give everything away, but man, oh man, there better not be a quake in this exact spot. Right here, the Yucatan Strait. That's right. Right here between Yucatan Peninsula, basically Cancun, and the western tip of Cuba. We've seen actually some odd quake activity here recently. If this starts hitting on the inner side of the Gulf, you've got to watch out for tsunamis anywhere there in America, in the Gulf, depending. Remember when Haiti got hit really hard, man? It was, for those that don't know or don't remember, it caused some devastating tsunami waves. And this area can do it. So now, all of a sudden, Venezuela getting hammered by what they're calling a pair of back-to-back quakes. From what I'm seeing in most of the places that I follow, and thank you, Quantum, much love, is that this was a 7.1 followed 39 seconds later by a 7.5. I'm going to tell you, this may not be over with. Look, normally when we see quakes and after an hour goes by, just like the one up there in California, you see small little swarming that happens afterwards. Sometimes when you don't see that and things are just quiet, it's kind of ominous. Another big one can hit that can drop buildings that are damaged right now that maybe did not fall. And you never know exactly where they're going to hit. All we know is they're popping off. And from San Felipe all the way over to Valencia, cities have been rocked. We're going to look at some footage here in just a second. These are fairly shallow quakes. I'm going to say that's why they're so damaging. Anything below 10 kilometers is shallow because they can go down hundreds of kilometers. Anything below 10 is going to be felt widespread up on the surface. That's why we put out an alert. Anything less than 5 is like super shallow. And it could cause liquefaction and everything else in the area, which is something you got to pay attention to. So San Felipe, again, the whole area along this corridor, this highway corridor down to Juan Jose Mora, getting rocked by this. The largest known, I'd say, popular city is probably Valencia. They've got their own San Diego down there and everything else. But let's jump to some news article on this. It's going to update. I'm going to take you to some video clips. You can see they're reporting powerful back-to-back earthquakes have struck this area. So that's what they're calling it. Now 7.2 and the 7.5. Buildings have collapsed. Residents poured out into the streets. And we'll take a look at these clips and we'll go through them here. This is Caracas.
Aquí estoy a 20 metros del edificio, empieza a temblar y paro el carro y se cayó el edificio donde estaba el semáforo. Yo estaba parado ahí. Wow.
This is just one video clip, and that is just of Caracas. You can see the people in the street, people running everywhere. I have some clips here I want to share. Let's just jump to the X feed real quick. And you're going to see here, we've got a lot of damage in the area. This is one of the first shots. This is a terrifying visual of the airport. You can see here, people running for their lives. Let's see if we got audio on that. Oh, I got a crazy one too. I just dropped it. It's I don't know if you can see it. I don't even know if it showed up here. There it is. It's right here. Check this out. It's over on the TikTok. If you guys are not following, follow there. Good. People hitting the ground, falling, can't even run. Place falling apart. That's scary.
Yeah. Wow.
Look at that. That's just people shocked.
Hermano, no, fuera más peligroso, hermano. Por allá, señores, al puerta 4.
Again, that's exclusive over on my TikTok. Make sure to follow me over there because there's going to be stuff there that's only posted there. USGS estimates that there's anywhere between 10,000 and 100,000 fatalities tied in to these quakes. That's what some of the guys are saying there. And we're just going to go through some of the clips here. Northern Venezuela.
Amareli se está cayendo esta mierda.
Big Nick.
Mierda.
I mean, when it's shaking that bad, you start wondering, is the building going to come down?
45 segundos. Se rompieron las cosas, Amareli. Mierda. Mierda.
He's up high. Definitely felt it. Now, we're seeing one shake in a lot of these clips. There was two quakes that hit, a 7.1 and a 7.5. So I've yet to see anyone that caught both massive. See, that building's already down in the back.
Se cayeron edificios. Miren cómo está eso. Se acaban de caer edificios.
This is
Todavía está temblando edificios. Se cayeron edificios.
prayers going out to everybody out there dealing with this. There's going to be a lot of people that need rescued. A lot of people trapped in the rubble. And I fear that it may not be over. Has all the potential to keep hitting at this point. Until we start to see some people going. I'm reminiscent of a war zone, right? In a building like that, he's coming down on the next big quake. Look, standing, look at that. You know, it's rolling quake. Like that. No telling how old some of these buildings are, too. Least trustworthy, thank you for the super chat. I thank you to everyone out there on all platforms here tonight. We've got, an emergency situation underway in Venezuela. You can see there Japan was hit, but Venezuela took the damage with 2 quakes. And we're just going through some of the footage here.
Verga, esto es aquí. Marico, se cayó aquel edificio. Huevón, un edificio se fue para abajo. Marico, aquel edificio al lado de Migas. Huevón.
No, that
Verga, esto es aquí.
that rubble. That's people didn't make it out, man. Pacific Tsunami Warning Center issued a tsunami alert for Venezuela. The coastline could still get hit. So as we're reporting here tonight, if you guys see anything there, let me know. Normally I'm scouring the feed. It's what I do, but I can't do that if I'm over here live reporting on all this other stuff. So if you guys see anything popping off in terms of tsunami waves coming into Porto Cabello, all the way up here, Vargas, any of these northern areas, they're susceptible to tsunami waves right now. We also, at the same time, I want to put out an alert. You're looking at a live shot here. I'm going to pause that. This is the Great American State Fair kicking off in D.C., the National Mall. I'm going to warn you, this is a prime targeted area for a staged event or for something crazy to happen. Okay? It's going to be running for the next 2 weeks through the 4th of July and the week after. And I'm just telling you, the way things go, if you're going up to this event, the Great American State Fair, it sounds fun, bunch of booths, all this stuff, and I'm telling you, it's prime territory for something staged to pop off. Just heads on a swivel. Again, it seems like earthquakes are popping off, and I'm going to be getting to this. You guys can see in the title, everything going on with the game, the current game. I do not think that you're to abduct people yet, but I'm going to run this clip. I'm going to let you see this.
Segue no ataque. Espera. O que é isso? Tem alguma coisa sobre o estádio? Meu Deus. Os jogadores pararam. Eles estão apontando para riba. Não, isso não pode ser real. É o Neymar. Estão levando o Neymar.
This is the game.
Eu não acredito no que estão vendo.
This lady said people were going to get abducted. Between Scotland and Brazil, it's 4-0.
Segue no ataque. Espera.
Tonight for an alien shouldn't happen at the world. An alien abduction. is what they're talking about.
Segue no ataque.
So this was AI, obviously, but I'm interested to know what. I don't keep up with the soccer like that. Let's see if it's actually over here. What the score is? It's 3-0. I was gonna say if it was 4-0, like in the AI clip, that'd be wild. But it's close. It's 3-0, and they're playing right now. So unless it's over, right? If it's over, then it didn't happen. Lost sound. Sound cut out for a minute. Is it back? Are we back? Are we back? Let me get a 5x5 real quick. I get the 5x5. We'll keep it rolling. It's 5x5 now. All right, score a quick on it. I got a lot of stuff. Over here on the feed. I'll come back to that, I guess. But again, if you guys get anything, make sure to get my attention. If you got anything on like tsunamis or anything like that, that's primarily what I'm concerned about right now. Want to get the warning out best we can. If there's like imminent tsunamis rolling up on the coastline there. Keep an eye on that quake map too, because it's going to be interesting to see what pops off, from here. So I'll go back. I'll check that before we end all this. But they have issued a NOTAM for the World Cup tonight, and you can see that in the title here. That is a no-fly zone in Miami, over top of this area where they're conducting this match that was predicted to get abducted. People abducted by aliens and all this weird stuff. But there were weird things in the sky, they said. They didn't say if it was drones. They didn't say what it was. They said something was in the sky, so they put up a NOTAM for the event. Now, you talk about adding to the speculation and all that. That's pretty crazy. Again, you guys see anything? All right, I'm gonna check the chat here. I'm gonna ask you guys something. Not only to keep me posted and at me if a tsunami comes in on those quakes and you see something on that. What is that? Yeah, maybe so. Maybe so. I'm sorry. I gotta get a refresh here. Make sure that I got a 5x5 and a refresh real quick. Chat kept glitching out on me. All right, it's back on for me. I want to keep it pushing. Here, thousands of mayflies swarming in Ohio. Hoodie Ross, think that happened to you? Just want to let you know that's a good thing in terms of them, because those things only go to like non-polluted places, and that's only a plus if you see them in your area. Thank you, everybody, for the 5x5s. Keep in mind, we got a super El Nino impacting things out there. That's just going to be fuel for them to tap into to cause some craziness here. Oh, and one more thing, chat. If you know, is that game over? Is the Brazil-Scotland match over? Okay, because if so, then by the time I get to the story here in just a second, we can say, well, it's not going to happen, or it didn't happen. She was full of crap, right? Thank you, EC, everybody out there. Shelly, 5x5 just means it's all clear. It means we're the mic sounds good, the audio's good, visual's good, everything's good, right? That's all it means. It means we're all good, everything sounds good. And there's no hiccups, because I lost audio there for a minute. Loud and clear. All right. Yeah, loud and clear. Steve, much love. Let's jump into AI real quick. A lot of information, disinformation. It seems like there's a lot of counter information from the government here trying to like bat down the truth or stifle the truth. They don't want people like bucking out in any way, right? Well, there's about to be a bug out. I'm telling you. We're about to see it, hide it for much longer. And let's look at it. It's about to happen. What's this one say? It says AI reshaping US jobs, but not yet triggering mass unemployment. This is from the European Central Bank, and it's talking about US jobs. It's reshaping the jobs, but it's not triggering mass unemployment yet. Okay, yet is the key word because the next article is going to show you that it's going down. Okay. Oracle cuts 21,000 jobs as AI adoption deepens. So I don't know what the last European guys were seeing and thinking that it hasn't done nothing. It's doing something. 21,000 jobs because of AI adoption and it's deepening. Okay. Now, next one, automakers racing into the humanoid robot era as the timeline for blue collar job disruption emerges. So when is it going to happen by? Just long story short, right? Well, it begins now. It's just going to continue to grow like anything normal and spread out. And as the years go by, it's going to get worse and worse. And they fully expect. Let's just look at this chart because this is a good one right here. Why they've got one of these examples, I don't know. And that's escorting children. They could put any example they wanted on here, but they put that. But this is the task, the complexity from low to high, from left to right, and the environmental complexity from low to high, from bottom to top. And you can see just what it's talking about. 1 to 3 years, 3 to 5 years, and 5 years. Simply. Okay. So currently, entertainment, education, R&D, grok, data collection is what they got it classified as. But within 1 to 3 years, it's going to go to where, as they put it, it's escorting children. It's so dystopian. Walking the dogs. And I don't know how well that will work because dogs are very fond and keen to a human connection, not a robot and a machine. How that's all going to go down in commands and listening and I don't know. That's yet to be seen. Patrol and guard is something you're going to see on the forefront. And that's going to be them letting you know that these things can be weaponized. That's the Terminator aspect of it, right? The scary part. But, and then also facility inspection. So they're talking about 1 to 3 years right there. And then on the lower end, order picking, handling materials, quality inspection, sorting, packaging, supermarket checkout. Man, those are jobs a lot of people hold right now. A lot. In the warehouses, in the grocery stores, and within 1 to 3 years, they are about to get wiped out. We are there. And this is the warning right now. It doesn't mean stocks are going to continue. People got to understand the stock bubble is going to pop first, well beyond, because it's a bubble, well beyond the technology rolling out. The technology will continue to roll out forever. But somewhere along the line, economically, this bubble is going to pop because it's been so inflated. And it's going to be like the .com and all that other stuff. It may be the straw that breaks the camel's back and brings the economy down here. Let's go 3 to 5 years real quick. This takes us out to 2030 and be in, right around that area where they had a timeline, the big agenda here to have everything done. You're talking restocking supermarket shelves, cleaning hotel rooms. All those jobs be taken, wiped out. Anyone that's out there cleaning hotel rooms. 5 years. This is what's crazy. They're trying to say home renovation and plumbing services. Now, I was talking about this recently, like a handyman is going to be key. But this is wild. They're saying a Tesla can pull up, this thing can hop out the driver's seat, walk into your home, into the bathroom, look at the task and the issue, and they can perform it and they can do it. This is getting wild. They throw in newborn care. Would you trust one of these AI bots holding your newborn? Or elderly care, taking care of you? Like, I don't think so. Housework, that's where they're getting everybody. They're going to get it in their house right there. Not here. If I was going to like a cabin or going to like some place, and I walked in and I seen that they had one of them listening devices, like, I'm shutting it down. Alexa or whatever, one of them balls devices, I'm not having nothing. Sit there and spy and listen to me. And there's a point where you got to be aware of all your surroundings. There's hotels out there that have sensors in them and people don't even realize it. And they're tracking you these days, whether you're in the room or not. I found this out the hard way. It was last trip to NYC, and this was some time ago. So I can only imagine it's spread by now to other cities, to where there was a sensor in there. And I'm like, dude, what the hell is this thing up there? What is that? And like, I didn't like it. I was like, is there a camera in there? Like, what is going on? And like, I covered it. Well, they let us know that, like, that's a sensor, lets them know if someone's in the room or not. And dude, I don't think so. I'll pass on staying in a place like that. Frank Holiday, much love. Thank you for the super chat. And yeah, we were just at 740 people watching, and just like that, they just chopped 50 people down. So 740 people watching, and just like that, they chopped 50 people down. It's nonstop on these streams. It keeps happening, whether it's Restream or it's YouTube. It keeps mainly on YouTube here, on the big stream, but it just happened again. It's constantly happening, and I'm watching it now. And let me know, everybody, if there's any issues. Like, remember on the last stream, I wasn't even live on Rumble. They put a freaking image up, a placeholder image, like trying to trick me or something. Like, what? And then people were getting restricted images, like messages, where they can't watch this stream. It's telling them it's restricted. Like, and they showed me the evidence. It's ridiculous. So if you guys are seeing any of that, let me know. We got to stay on top of this stuff because it's ridiculous. But yeah, that's what's happening. Lutnick wants the eye crackdown on Chinese humanoid robots. You know what this means? Only the robots that Elon's got and that the Mossad control will be allowed in the U.S., which are going to be just as dangerous. Anything connected to the Mossad will blow you away. You already know it. Pagers, cell phones, anything that they've shown the whole world. Let alone one of these bots. Are you kidding me? I told you before, jokingly, they'll be like Terminator. They could self-destruct, like, Predator. Something crazy. They'll do it. I'm warning you. I would not have any of this stuff in the household. That's just pure laziness. You can't do some household stuff. You're going to spend $100,000 plus or something crazy on one of these things. I don't even know what they're going for, but Kardashians can afford them, but everyday people cannot. Now, if you start seeing these things getting pushed out there for like $5,000 or something, and like, look, this is like $100 a month. You could tell that they're trying to push hard to get them into people's houses. Then, Cerberus plunges to the lowest IPO ever. Why? Because the US has a dire shortage of operating data centers, and the people have been bucking back. So they're trying to counter all this information and cut it down, like, and hide it all the time. I see it in information that I share on all kinds of different platforms. There's certain, especially data centers, and a topic they're trying to just bury it, to where just trying to bury it from what I can see. But we're not going to bury it. We're going to talk about it. Um, Again, if they're coming to your neck of the woods with this, tell them kick rocks. Look at this. California residents sue the gas stations because AI is price fixing. This is nuts. It's like it's changing throughout the day. This is why it should be always illegal, in my opinion, to have like the digital prices up, because you can change them like so quick and easy, like at the blink of an eye, and like you just get everybody. It's the same thing in the store. How would you like it if you go down an aisle and you're like, oh well, you're trying to decide what you want to buy, right? And you've got X amount of money, and you look at a price of something, you go down an aisle, and you look at the price of something, you decide, okay, I'm going to go with what I was looking at before. You go back to buy it, and it's like gone up $2. They're watching you. AI's watching you, and like they're gouging you. It's already happening. It's absolutely crazy. California residents are suing the gas stations because of this. I hope they win. Something has to set a precedent. Supreme Court's got to step in. Like something big's got to get put in place that says you cannot do this. You know, set the price. The price should be set for the day, right? Even if the markets plunge, oh well, price set for the day. Everybody get about it, getting a good evening. Tomorrow, price may change, right? But you know, guys have to go out and manually change the price out there that you can see, not just flip of a button. Because if it's that easy, they're going to get you all day. Imagine, man, they got a camera system just right up the road, sees you coming off. It reads your tag, sees you're from out of state, knows that you're like the only gas station around for like miles. And you're like, oh, we got a sucker here. If you're in the right spot, then you know they're coming for gas, and like you can just gouge them. It's crazy. Look, the cameras and the AI, you better get hip to it, man. They're watching everything. They're calculating things, and they're calculating things to screw us. That's what's wrong with all this. So what's Trump say? Customers are being gouged, but he doesn't bring up AI. He was out there today on video trying to say, all this stuff, we're down to $72, $70 a barrel. He was trying to brag about, but all these gas stations still had high prices. And he's like, what's going on? So you can guarantee that if the price of oil come down and the gas prices didn't follow it, he's going to crack down hard on a bunch of places, probably trying to make an example out of them, like, because he's catching the heat. He's going to be like, it's their fault. It's their fault. They're gouging and they're smoking them for it. It's the only thing you can do at this point. Anyone that is gouging out there, they're about to get hit. These gas stations, but it's so tight, right? They're like, well, this is what I sell. I don't know, gouging, you can't be doing it in an aspect, like I said before. And then you've got the issue with the gas out there with something in it. It's not, I don't know if they're just straight using water to try to cut it with, but a guy was going around doing tests, and you can simply get the gas right out, pour it into this thing, run a little test, shake it up, and wait a couple seconds for it to dissolve. And it should dissolve like into nothing. When you've got a bunch of crap in there refusing to dissolve, you know that you've got really dirty, really, like something's going on with the gas. If you missed that video, man, it was a good one. you can go out and get the gas testers yourself and just go to the gas station, fill up a little container, and run the test yourself if you're suspecting. Because bad gas will cause a lot of issues with a lot of cars, believe it or not. And if you keep going to the same place, not realizing this, getting the bad gas, it will screw you up bad. Been there, done that. Crazy what once it's all depleted and fresh good gas is put in, how different a vehicle will run. Just keep that in mind. Look at this. Cushing hits tank bottoms. U.S. production at record highs. So, like, we're trying to crank out as much as we can, record highs in terms of oil, so people know that say, oh, we got it here at home. Yeah, well, we're cranking it out at record highs, and our tanks are still at tank bottoms. So what now? All these people are like, oh, we don't need Hormuz. No, you got to twist it. Like, here's the facts. U.S. production at a record high. Get it into your brain. There it is. Right? And we're still at tank bottoms. Did that stick? Okay. That's where we're at. Okay, and we're well past a week and a half now of the 4 weeks. And Trump said, we're in a crisis. He warned you because that's part of the occult magic. They got to tell you the truth. They got to put it out there. Rules to the game, right? So he said it. And here we are coming up on, 2 weeks out, not a deal in sight. Even if they do, as I showed earlier, it will take weeks to get all the mines cleared out of the entire stretch of Hormuz. Now, what I've noticed, and I'm noticing big time right now, is the West is lying bad. They've been caught in lies bad. They're getting their news cycles to run lies, and it's been a constant. And you know it has. For constant. Day after day, week after week, months now. Trying to say, oh, we're going to get a deal done tomorrow. They changed the wording. They changed the hook. They changed a little this and that, but it's the same thing every time. We're about to get a deal done. We're about to get a deal done. And it never happens. And right when everything should be materializing, Iran comes out and says, you're liars. We never agreed to none of that. And they did it again. It's every day. It's every single thing. And Trump is a liar. He's a straight liar. The whole world sees it. He's lost this war. I told you, I showed you on Wikipedia, it had it listed that we took the loss, that Iran won this. And even the Israelis are pissed off at Trump saying the exact same thing. And Wikipedia probably says that because they control it, but they're pissed. And even Adelson is pissed. Like, he either tucks tail at this point, just takes his losses, licks his wounds, and gets out of this war. Or, dude, the worst is yet to come. The worst is yet to come. And that's bad. We don't want to see that. Look, they're trying to say, oh, a couple vessels slipped through today. Yeah, a handful. But none of them's bringing anything here. It's going to change the game. That's for sure. The whole cycle has to be replenished. And you're talking thousands of vessels need to be able to traverse this area, not just a handful of chosen. And try to think it's all right. It's not. It will take months just to get back in the regular cycle. And as I said before, weeks at least to clear all the mines. They said this on Reuters live today. Letting everybody know. Let's jump into gold real quick. It gets monkey hammered down below 4,000. And you're talking a good thing for me and for anyone investing. You want to see these buy windows open up. You want to see gold present a buy opportunity big time. And it's doing that right now. Silver, the same thing. Let's just go look at the price real quick. And gold sitting flat at 4,000. Okay, so they're trying to hold it right there. Okay. It should break down. Let's go to the 5-year. Oh, see how we're coming off this cliff? I've been eyeballing 333. This needs to break, and we're still up at 4,000. It's up over 100% on the 5 year. If this breaks and starts to fall, silver's gonna follow it. Looky there. Looky there. That is beautiful. That is $57 silver. That's $57.95. I'm gonna tell you, earlier today, I was hitting tacos up like, dog, it's $56.96. Moved down $56.96 officially. We tapped into 56 for a moment, and I'm like, oh, this is it. Like, but I'm watching, because it really feels, you can't try to base what's going on with silver, platinum, or palladium. No, look at them. Look at them. Look at these. They're changing colors, but look at them. They're identical. Look at the charts. They're identical. They follow gold. Gold leads the way. So gold is pulling back. And yeah, anything could spike and take off running any moment. But man, it's really looking bearish, and I would like it to break down at this point to say 30, the mid threes. If it does that, silver's coming down. It blew through the 40s and the 50s. So in response, if gold falls here and pulls back, which it naturally should, let's go back to gold real quick. Let's go back to the 5-year. You see this? See how we went up way high and starting to come down? It should naturally. See how we got this flat pan out here way ahead of it in 2021, 2022, all this. This is where it eventually what it has to do. It has to do another flat pan for a minute. Okay? It has to find a footing there. And once it does, it starts to climb out of it. That's how it works all the time in natural charting. Okay? Gold shows, just off this chart, it could fall some. So bring it. Let's look at silver. So, dude, silver is going to bring you way more gains. Silver is the ticket. You want to stack up on silver big time. I did an exclusive live stream over on TikTok talking about that, about the metals, this pullback. The fact that we did a 10x already in silver, and that you too could jump in right now and get in on a 10x. If this comes down and touches 50 or breaks 50, hits 40s, anything crazy like that, like, my gosh, I'd be selling some other things to invest into the silver, because that's where it's at. Silver and gold. You could buy both, but I'm going to tell you, just by looking at the numbers, now, if you guys missed it, a lot of the big gold heads, silver heads are saying a huge event's about to happen. And, you know people and all this other stuff, and guys make their predictions. But on the last stream I showed you, the U.S. Mint screwed up. And they basically posted something they were not supposed to post. They posted price points on silver and gold on the ounce that are astronomical from where they're at right now. Astronomical. It put gold at $20,000 an ounce. And yes, they were more premium coins that they were putting out, but the premium tab on top of it never. That's not how it works. Like right now, if you were to go over and try to buy gold over here at APMEX, you're gonna pay a premium through them versus going into a shop. That's just the way it is. $6, $7 premium, right? But you're not talking hundreds and hundreds of dollars, let alone thousands. So what happened is the U.S. Mint put out these coins that equated to $20,000 an ounce gold on the official site, and silver like $1,500, something stupid. insane. People are like, look, you don't accidentally do that. You have to type all this stuff up. You have to create it. It all has to be entered. You at least had to have a page designed and ready, waiting to post. It all had to be made, you see. And that's the big thing. Somebody made just that. And thank you, Steely, for the coffee. Much love, God. Appreciate the support. More than you know. I just looked over and seen that maybe that was a sound for it there. Let's keep it pushing. Let's jump into the World Cup. And let me see one more time. I'm gonna check my eye on the chat here. Did Brazil win that? Actually, it'll probably tell me over here if I go to the homepage. Yes, it's over. Brazil won 3-0. So I can say without a doubt that this woman is foolish. Fill in the blank. And it's just how it usually always checks out, right? You had this self-proclaimed psychic going live, and I warned you about this and I showed it, warning that aliens were going to invade the field and abduct players during the Scotland versus Brazil World Cup game. Now, the oddest thing to all this was that tonight they put up a NOTAM saying that there was undisclosed objects in the airspace, in the area. They didn't say drones, but that was probably the biggest, like, what? Type thing. We'll play this.
Gente, eu vou falar pra vocês que eu sonhei de novo com os alienígenas invadindo o campo de futebol em Miami. E eu via a cena dos jogadores nitidamente sendo carregado pela primeira nave que chegava. Eu estava dentro dessa nave. Quando essa nave se levantava, chegava a nave mãe, uma nave muito maior, e levava milhares de pessoas do campo de futebol. Eu via muito grito, muito choro, muita lágrima, sofrimento. E eu vou falar com vocês que eu tô muito apavorada, porque, assim, a segunda vez que eu tô sonhando de novo com isso, e eles falando que dia 24, algo muito ruim está para acontecer nesse jogo, nesse campo de futebol em Miami, nos Estados Unidos.
Oh, the garbage. You're crying. We see it's a problem with these people that put their whole thing on the line, claiming a prediction like this, like, connected to being psychic and all this. This is just, well, it did not happen. Okay, so it's just, I don't know. Now, don't let this take away from the Miami Mall incident, because I'm going to tell you, for someone that's been doing this for all these years, the footage that I've seen and the witness accounts and everything else from the Miami Mall incident where all the cops swarmed down there, I'm going to tell you now, there were entities of some sort, tall, very tall, somethings walking around. It was on footage. It's out there. And people witnessed this. This is why people were saying it wasn't a joke. And this is why cops were everywhere. What was, some big hoax? They never explained. They never said none of that. They never said, because it had to be something. Someone was hoaxing or it was real. It's one of the two. And like, they never came out with any proof of anything showing anything of hoax. Witnesses down there described weird lights also, like in like ambient lights in the atmosphere during that. Now that had more credibility than this. Again, this is the problem when you predict something as a psychic. I think the same thing happened with that modern day Nostradamus here recently that predicted something that didn't happen. Now, you want to jump into something else that has alien attached to it, but really it doesn't have anything to do with aliens. I don't think it could. You could have another life form could be controlling what I'm about to tell you, but I honestly think that we've got the technology. We know China and Russia does, so why can't Iran? And that's what I lean toward with this next one. We've got a downed fighter pilot talking. And it just so happens this fighter pilot is the same one they went and rescued. And they created this big story about it. Remember? He was downed in Iran. And it just so happens he was also shot down over Kuwait a month before that. So he was shot down twice. But the first time they said Kuwait accidentally shot him down. This time he's saying that, well, first off, on record, there's no official statement as to what took him down, what shot him down, a missile, like whatever. What he's saying he saw was a massive swarm of drones, is what it kind of looked like, in a jellyfish formation, like tentacled off of a big one, with smaller ones following it. And apparently, all of that was able to keep up with the fighter jet, which is well beyond the capabilities of the drones that you're seeing out in the battlefield in like Ukraine that are, like the DJIs and any of that. It has to be just like the New Jersey drones that they showed us here, that our government had and was being tight-lipped about. That could outrun all of our military aircraft. They did not know what the fuel source was. It was not being operated like a normal drone because it had some kind of closed loop inner brain controlling it. Not radio waves and frequencies. They couldn't jam it like you normally can. So they put on display a new technology with the drones, so to speak. And I wonder if that's what he encountered here. We know China has a mothership. They've already said they've got a drone mothership that can release all these different drones to attack. And this guy's saying that's what he saw before he was getting flashing lights that he was getting shot down. So it wasn't a missile, wasn't another aircraft, like as we know of, a fighter jet, like dogfight. It was he seen a swarm of jellyfish drones, and the next thing you know, he's coming down. Rather interesting, right? So let's go to another major, interesting one. This one takes me out to Mount Shasta. And I covered this in a video today. And it's wild. This lady discovered Carrie Ann horseback riding out in the mountains of Mount Shasta. She discovered there's several different clips, but during the day, they seem to have rolled up, her and a friend, on horseback on speakers out in the middle of nowhere. Speakers that you see right there, solar powered, which is nuts. And they're giving off this noise that I'm not even going to play. You can go, I got a video out on it. You can watch the video on it and listen for yourself, but I'm not going to play it because I'm going to be honest with you. A lot of people in the comments said that the sound made them feel ill. And dude, my take on it is it sounds like demonic, like troll chanting on a very low vibrational scale. And it's nuts. And let me tell you, this woman ran across hundreds, if not thousands, all over the place, just in the middle of nowhere. Absolutely nowhere. And you can go over here and you can see, I dropped links to the original Reddit account, to her account, to where people are asking her. And she thinks that, like, her personal opinion is trying to do something with the energy around her, like some kind of open up some kind of energy vortice or do something. And other people comment, like, this area is known for a bunch of nutcases They're trying to open portals and all this. There's wild comments. And there's other people that like say, you know, Shasta's always been mystical, and it has been. It's legendary in that sense, but to be up there horseback riding in the middle of nowhere, she's got a day clip, and later, like right around where it's getting dark, this clip. There's more, and they're absolutely everywhere, and it sounds so eerie. Like none of it sounds like any radio station like you've ever heard of. Like I thought in one clip maybe I was hearing like human words, but it was just like it was like you could tell it was like maybe human or is it whatever. You could tell something was trying to speak, but there was like no clear words. And I wasn't making out, like when she got out into the field, all the rest of it, she described it as like a white noise, so to speak. Just giving off this, I'm going to tell you, I haven't told you, it sounds and feels like a low frequency demonic thing is my take off of it. And I'm not tainting the stream with the sounds of it tonight. Again, you can go watch the video on it. Look, if you feel froggy, leap. You got a horse or you got something you want to go up in the Shasta and you want to go up here and check this out, check it out, please let me know. Dabu7@yahoo.com. We would appreciate it. I see all kinds of comments like what people would do with them and or whatever. But, you know, I'm going to say that if someone's gone out of the way to spend the money and to put these things out there operating like this, it's for a very good reason to them, and that there's probably some other form of technology monitoring it, potentially. So if people want to go out and do their thing, just be mindful that, I mean, if you're finding these things out in the middle of nowhere, Mount Shasta, there's no telling what else is going on, but I lean toward the very weird with this one. Okay, that's my verdict right now, and that's really all you're gonna find. In the comment section. See if I can't open this up real quick. We got info sent in from the Silver Sailor real quick. An update on the earthquake hitting. And again, that was Carrie Ann over on Reddit. They caught all that. Shout outs to her for letting us know. I've got links in that video. You guys can see all the stuff. Here is an update to a baseball game. 52 seconds. This is the baseball game they're saying was interrupted.
En el estadio, ¿no?
It's like nobody. And everybody's running out of the field. Wow. The mountains back here. So, okay, you can see everything's shaking there. Thanks for the update. Let's go to the Department of Interior releasing never-before-seen footage of vandals at the reflecting pool. Well, we'll play this clip here from Waters that describes it in pretty good detail.
The Department of Interior gave us a look at individuals suspected of vandalizing the reflecting pool. Now, we haven't been able to verify the video, but take a look. June 19th, a male, blue shirt, reaches in, stays there for a little while. He goes back down, comes back up multiple times. What's he doing? Then a female, white tote bag. She reaches in, needs a better angle, sets the bag down, dives in a little deeper. And we don't know who these people are, No one was stopped or questioned by police, so no arrests. And we don't have the police report yet. But what are they doing with their hands in the pool? Are they cutting the lining? Are they peeling off the paint? Now, we don't know if they're committing a crime. They'll probably tell you they dropped their wedding ring. The Department of Interior says this, quote, in the video, you're seeing two suspects observed destroying and removing a piece of the lining and attempting destruction of the lining. This incident took place on June 19, 2026, and we are investigating. Destroying, injuring, defacing, or removing cultural or architectural resources is a federal crime. The media, who's been covering liberals destroying public property for decades, believe that reflecting pools off limits. They've toppled statues of our founders.
So I don't know what to say about that. Like, if innocent until proven guilty is still got to stand at some point. Like, I'm trying to look at this as an investigator, potential prosecutor, right? Judge on this whole thing. And in the case, what do we got? Individuals leaning in. Well, they were zooming in on them. Like, why not send some cops down there to inspect that exact spot? If there was damage in the exact spot, which, none of that happened, or they would be telling you that. Is my problem with it. If you were catching them, I've got a lot of questions. Like, this is the reflecting pool, and it's been there forever. People throwing coins and pennies and things in that. Like, you're telling me people aren't allowed to touch it? I'm not defending people that are damaging it, because you shouldn't be damaging nothing. But you're going to have that. You're going to have people that are doing that. And sure, I believe people were up there definitely doing stuff on an agenda. But that video zoomed in. Just think about it. If you're in DC, there's cameras everywhere. You're watched everywhere you go. That's why I told you I hate going up there. You could have gone up there and just been the innocent people just messing around, sitting down right there and not done anything, is my point. It happens. And because if you were guilty, I find it hard to believe that they wouldn't have rolled up on them and got them, because they've busted everybody else. Now, well, I call that the deflection poll, because that story comes up. It seems like a deflection story. Ever since they buried Epstein, that's like the filler, the headline where the Epstein article should have been. They spend the 15 minutes or whatever talking about that. We're going to update on Epstein here in a second. First, though, an update to the flesh-eating screwworm cases. They rise to 15 after new detections in Texas. This isn't good, because this is where our main herd is. And it's being targeted, I feel, for attack here. They should be doing everything in their power to stop this. But the powers to be out there. Bill Gates and company, they will support things like this openly, and do everything they can to get you to buy fake meat, decimate our real herd. I told you, Bill Gates, he went out and he bought farmland, prime farmland in America, in several different states, just to buy it and just let it overgrow so cattle couldn't graze in any of it. That's insane, because to him, it was a strategic advantage when he was pushing his fake meat. Anything and everything he could do to knock back people eating real meat and buy his fake crap, he would support. Man, what was that? Impossible Meats, Impossible Burgers. That's what it was. I was trying to tell you guys, it's all fake. They're selling it at gas stations out there across country. And if these gas stations that are in the middle of nowhere, that looks like they have a little restaurant going or whatever, they're selling the stuff. It's nuts. Pay attention. Here's an update to the woman connected to Los Alamos, the scientist that's connected to all this UFO stuff. And details about her death. And she's dead, RIP. We know this, but she is tied into the long list here of scientists that have been missing, a lot of which I believe are dead. And if you don't know, they discovered her body like leaned up against a tree, a skeleton, okay, with a gun nearby, which was not hers. They said that she died from a gunshot wound to the head, but they never recovered a bullet. She took with her medication. She took with her a toothbrush. Things you don't take with you when you're getting ready to like off yourself. You just don't care. Come on. And here's the kicker. Her work phone and her cell phone were wiped clean and left home. Now, all this talk about a device that they've got to be able to penetrate someone's skull and to control them and do all this other stuff is very real. And also just warning her somehow, some way. She has a situation that matches a bunch of the others. Let's look at William McAslan. That had gone missing and everything else. Same thing. Phone left at home, all this stuff, and off to a mystery destination. That story's still yet to come unraveled all the way. But it's like going down the same path. Same thing. It's like these people were told by someone, leave your phone at home, whatever, wipe it, and come meet us for this very important meeting, whatever, and they get killed. And it's a scary situation. If you're anyone that's in this realm of work or you know anyone, like it reminds me of Amy Eskridge. She knew. Amy's soul screams. They got her. They hit her with a weapon beforehand and she reported it. And even said that if anything happened to her, it wasn't her. And they got her. And she knew about all this. And the missing scientist, and she was warning about it all, more so than others. This has got to be scary. If you ever get told, leave your phones at home, ever, by anyone, don't you ever do it. Like, unless you are 1,000% sure, like, don't you ever do it. Because it's checking out to be the MO of the murderer that's picking these people off. Because obviously the technology can't be tracked or traced then, anything to it. It can't take anything with it. It removes that issue right from Jump Street. And how odd that all of these people were told the same thing. I don't think so. I don't think so. Something crazy is going on with it. That's for sure. R.I.P. Melissa Cassius. Thank you for fighting the good fight. In my opinion, it got her. All they got to do is hear you talking on your cell phone. They can even eavesdrop to your cell phone and listen to you. Any conversation at the kitchen table, pillow talking to your husband at night. Oh, yeah. And if they hear you talking like you should not be, depending on what you say, you get targeted. Just don't never forget that. People always forget that their own phones and the items right around them are stenching them out. And let's go to Epstein Island. Bill Gates saying that Epstein issued veiled threats over affairs and obviously was blackmailing him. And now that he's been caught in a lot of this and Epstein is dead, Bill's in a unique position here. He can actually start to spill his guts here about a lot of stuff because I mean, he's already busted for like cheating. And he's saying that, yeah, he's putting validation into the whole thing that Epstein was blackmailing cats. And he as well. I mean, he's already been outed for cheating on his wife and like ruined his marriage. And they've really outed him on the whole thing. But nothing criminal. It's just enough to wreck his life. He has taken a hit on this. He sure has. More so than a lot of people. But he's dodged jail and any big charges on it. Okay. You know, kind of like Fauci always does. And you know, Gabbard comes out and drops everything on Fauci. And, you know, what's going to happen with that? Fauci, the CIA, unanswered questions. It's because nothing's ever really going to happen. You know where this is going, right? Trump is pissing off everyone so bad that this next election, they're going to give you a Democrat. And look, last election, when they gave you Biden, people were, you know, more pissed and more of a Trump supporter and more of all this other stuff at that moment. And they did nothing. They said, oh, we'll just wait it out for 4 years. Like some busters. And never tackle the problem. Grab the bull by the horns. So, since it's musical, you know, chairs up there with the beast, the left-right paradigm, they are literally gonna switch the sides again. And the hunters become the hunted, so to speak. All these people, all MAGA, any MAGA that's left out there, they're gonna get hunted down by the establishment, Newsom and whoever's up in there, the left, going after all of them. You mark my words. And it's meant to be this way. Trump rolled out all these executive orders. He labeled Americans domestic terrorists, and he used examples as Antifa, left-leaning groups. You bet your ass the same laws that Trump put on the books will be used by Newsom and company against the right, against his own. And Trump don't care. You already know he don't care. He'll sell out his whole base. He'll say F you. Won't mention anything about pedo protectors or anything like that, or missing children or anything. He's like, F you. You don't want to hear none of it. Can't you see what he did to Massey and Taylor and it's all of them? Like, it's nuts, man. This is a mafia that runs this whole thing. Straight up. Really, all this is theater. Like, here's Schumer lashing out at Trump over the SAVE Act. They can't even get it together and push the SAVE Act together for Americans. Trump wants to blame them. They want to blame Trump.
The GOP will continue going along
Same
with
old
Trump's
stuff,
all-out assault on voting rights with legislation like the SAVE Act. If my colleagues across the aisle have any sense at all, they ought to grill Trump on affordability, on his failed war with Iran, on his effort to hold American national security hostage, and all his other policies that are hurting the American people. When they emerge from their meeting, will Republicans have told Trump the truth? Will they speak truth to power? Will they do their job? Or will they just bend in obeisance to him and get more frustrated, more angry, more ineffective than they've ever been?
And did you hear what he said? The whole left is taking the position. Trump lost this war with Iran. Does everybody understand this? We are taking this through Wikipedia, through our own freaking Congress. Do you understand? A loss in this freaking war. You think they're going to turn around and go to the history books and write down that Trump won? No. I think something huge is about to happen. It is about to happen. It's like about to go down, like any time now. Like we're in the window. Who knows how far these goons have taken? I thought this was interesting. This is, and I don't go agree with like hardly anything that they're pushing off the left side. If you want to agree with gun rights, then maybe we got that we can agree on. But I thought that left-leaning individuals speaking on us needing to break away from Israel shows that, well, Israel won't have a whole lot of a dominant influence if people think that way and the Dems get in there.
Not so much her, it's the party. The Democratic Party is as married to this Israel over everything, Israel no matter what, Israel no matter what they do, no matter how many people they kill. The
Really?
Democrats were as married to that as the Republicans. And so it would take a really strong Democrat. It would take a Mamdani style event to get a Democrat to say that they weren't getting down with that. But to me, I, going forward, cannot vote for a Democrat who does not pledge to end this relationship. This relationship needs to end. There's a nuclear armed expansionist power. They don't need our money, and they definitely won't get my vote.
We made that.
That's just where I'm at.
So did you see Hillary Clinton's answer to the Trump question with David Rim? Did you see this?
Mm-hmm.
I
Please
look.
Say more for those who don't know.
I mean, Hillary Clinton was in an interview the other day.
Well, I'm not jumping into that, but we're going to go to the next one. GOP civil war erupting, and if you haven't noticed, it's completely fracturing. Like they have nothing and no one. I'm going to tell you that Trump's doing so much damage to this side that like the hopes of like Rubio or Vance are dashed. I've said it before. He's like ruined any of them's chance whatsoever, tainted it. They can't take a counter position to Trump on like any of this stuff, and Trump's trashing everything. So you just had Tucker Carlson come out and say, I'm done. I'm done with the GOP and I'm out. Deuces. Which means people were talking about him being a potential person running in the next presidency. That means he would have to take an independent slot or seat. Tucker would. With somebody. And I'm going to be honest with you. I think that Tucker, with the right other person filling that third spot for the first time in history, when you've got a pissed off crowd that just want to see something different, they could be kind of running this thing that way. To where they know the people eventually are going to wake up to this whole thing, right? I mean, you have to eventually. Left-right paradigm. Stop buying into it. Stop voting for it. Left and right. Same old results, left, right. People just become conscious to it. And when that happens, you have to have another remedy. And that's always been the third option, of course, which is an independent. We talked about it with Ron Paul years ago. Ross Perot, I think, had one of the biggest money pushes independent in history. But, like, it never happened. It never made a dent in anything. But what happens if the establishment says, okay, people aren't buying in either one, they'll buy the independent. They'll buy it at least one time, right? That's their thinking, and I would agree. I would agree that you would be able to play that card even throughout all this, even though MAGA just got buffaloed and all this. I believe the independent card, you would get away with it one good time. You just would, because it's never been played. You see, so I would watch that and watch the characters they're pushing there. Tucker is a very likable type of individual. And they know this with a massive following. And that's the exact type of individual you're looking for to fill that slot, whether he would be the president or vice president. Either way it would go. People got to start looking, I guess, at what people actually represent and what they do. Like the proof is in the pudding, like the track record. Trump's Mr. Flip-Flop. And he always has been, always will be. And I think he's going to wreck this place before it's all said and done. The beast blockchain, yes. And you have to have the right individual in there to push their agendas, right? And I don't know if that happens with a Tucker or anybody like that, right? They also just pushed a bill banning CBDCs all the way through 2030. They didn't say indefinitely, up to 2030. It's like as if they know 2030 itself no matter what happens between now and then, it's like an official reset year or something. This is not good. You know, the Democrats are making moves, right? Well, it's the socialist Democrats that, in my eyes, are the worst, because the socialism has proven throughout history it does not work. It's collapsed. Just look at your history books. Look at every single time they've attempted it. And it's taking from other people to give to others in an unfair manner. And in the mix of it all, your government's siphoning off of it the whole time. No, I don't think so. And then you want to throw in illegal people in the mix? You can't even play by fair rules. Like, why would you want to play ball with them at all? Okay, well, the socialists are taking over the whole upper echelon of the Democrats, and that's going to have to be the thing that you watch out for more than anything. Look at this. Mamdani-backed candidates win New York House primaries. They are stacking and filling New York, not just New York City, but New York and all the places with individuals like this. And AOC believes in stuff like this, Bernie Sanders. So these are going to be the people that are pushed in front of your face in the next couple of years. You watch, if Bernie's still around. But all these goons pushing this kind of mindset. I've covered already many times how the socialism works and where it leads. If you've missed it, it's not hard. Look it up. I've covered it many times. And it speaks for itself. Do you see any other socialist place out there where the people are thriving on this planet? No. You do not. Okay, so let's look at the facts, Jack. Let's jump into Iran. Iran, this is a sham. Hormuz, it's all designed for a global reset. And you're in the midst of it. And it's a carrot on a stick, and it's part of magic, again, that they're doing, especially with the West. They do it through their news, and they do it through Trump and all their stuff, and false promises. It's every day. It's every other day. What's crazy is if you look back at it, it's been going on for 2 months now. You would think that they get away with it all for a week or so, but that after that, it would fizzle. Nope. People are so stupid and docile out there. They just sit there and they take it and listen and nod their head. They believe that, okay, something's going to happen tomorrow. Oh, you believe that they're actually going to have something going tonight. But by tomorrow morning, heck, I don't even think it'd be tomorrow morning. Like tonight, they're saying U.S. is lying. And I hate to bust everybody's bubble, but as always, Israel broke the ceasefire as I speak tonight because they are dropping bombs in Lebanon again. It's just nonstop. How do you ever think this is going to work? It is mandatory that is part of the deal with Iran, and Israel keeps breaking it. And Trump has nothing. He's cuffed. He is cuffed by Bibi. Bibi is basically saying F you and showing the whole world he controls this whole thing. And everyone sees it by now, clearly. It's disgusting. And Trump has no kahunas. This is a loss on the records for him, Mr. Accolades, Gentile Messiah, all that, right? Let's see what happens here. He's going down bad for this one. He's taking a loss on the history books. Again, to tuck tail and just dip and try to get things back on normal flow, Iran's not letting him do it. Iran knows that's the easy out for him, so they're not going to let him do it. They're applying pressure, like making this as hard as possible on him because he assassinated their leadership, and everything else. Yes, Kepler. Next one. Cyber attack hits Iran's banking system. This you need to watch. When you start going tit for tat, that's what's happened this whole time. When it came to even rolling out the hypersonics, it was tit for tat. We were striking them, or Israel was striking them, and Israel was getting hit from Tehran with hypersonics. Right? So it's a, a back and forth. Once you open up that can of worms, you got to deal with it. We opened up this can of worms with cyber attacks on banks. It's what we've been waiting on. If this happens here, it's over. Like it happens. This is what we've been waiting on. When this happens here and they hold the money hostage, they switch it over to digital because everyone can just download the digital wallet and pay for everything right there. It's all set up for it. That easy. The conversion away from fiat into the digital trap happens that easy. I've warned you over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. And we are on the cusp of it happening. All it's got to do is just happen at this point. You're seeing the signs of someone having a good reason to do it back. Right? Right. So these people in Iran hate America at this point. They don't like Trump. They don't like none of it. They ain't rooting for the West to come and free them or nothing. No. We've left them with no internet for months. We've left them disabled in many different ways, crippled their everyday life. And now the banking system, well, I will say this, though. I'm interested to see what Iran's fix for the people is here. Because I'm going to tell you, it wouldn't surprise me if all of a sudden it's exactly what I just told you. Matter of fact, I'm going to go looking after the show. This is kind of critical because they have to have a fix for this. And if their fix is exactly what we're expecting and they're doing it here, then it's done. It's game over. So they're not remedying it. They're just getting attacked right now. They have not offered a remedy. I'm going to stay on top of this. That's critical. This happens here. Look, we've been getting hit, cyber attacks left and right. And not only cyber attacks, we literally had a fiber cut happen this past week. Took half the internet down. Yeah, people got short memories, man. Like, dude, like things are happening that you could put on par with attacks, which the mainstream media will never say until it's too late. And I don't know, man. What we got? 22. Let's jump into Trump in Ukraine. This is a war that we started via Obama that was actually, I thought, started illegally. If you don't know, we ran the elected president out of the country under Obama, and we started crazy riots and protests under a group called Maidan in the streets, and we had snipers set up shooting everybody. Then we stole all the gold from the country, and then we set up a false leadership. That first leadership came and went and then entered Zelensky. And of course, Trump entered the presidency. The first time we went through the presidency and really not a lot of action with Ukraine. But the second time, a lot of action. And you've got Moscow getting hit bigger than it's ever been hit before. It's like smoking tonight, smoldering. It's never been that way in the past. You also have Putin saying that the rules of war are over, which is pretty crazy coming from a nuclear power. They are looking for Zelensky like whack-a-mole. They are searching and hunting around Kiev. Any sign that he is there, they're getting obliterated. And I really think that a huge, huge move is going to come to try to end this whole thing. Putin came out tonight and said that since they want to keep doing these things to us, we're going to keep marching. That they need to agree to boundaries, the new boundaries, and put it in writing. And they got to start there. And Zelensky's not. What's this say? Trump privately told Zelensky to act more boldly toward Russia. Meaning do more, strike them, hit them harder, this and that. Dude, this world's a stage. It's comical. What? So you can try to get... You think that's going to force Putin to come to the table to talk even more? Hearing that? If I'm Putin, I'm hitting you. That's not good for America. That means we've got all these people mounted up, just ready to. Dude, the whole world would celebrate, just like on Blind 11. Because the next one's about to happen. It's a sick feeling when you see your American people dying and you're getting attacked. Because I remember Blind 11 like it was yesterday. The jumpers, everything else, and watching everyone else celebrate. It's a sick feeling. But then when you educate yourself over the years and you realize that you live in the belly of the beast, it's an effed up thing. But it's the truth. It's where we are here in America, in the belly of the beast. It's why we find ourselves on the wrong side of history, and especially this war and these wars, when you've got the guy we're partnered with, Netanyahu, running around with an international criminal arrest warrant, the soul collector, dropping more bodies than anyone on the planet. And then on the other side of the table, the people we're going to war with, they're actually calling out the pedoism. It's pathetic. It's embarrassing. But that's where we sit. So, what the hell is that? Oh, the moon's pretty bright tonight. Even though it's not full. Moscow burning. As I told you before, I don't think it's going to go down for too long. And look at this. Crimea struck. They're striking everywhere. Shut down the thermal power plant. And they just keep on going. They're hitting harder. Kind of what Trump ordered. So, you know, they are hitting them hard. This is the hardest I've seen in a while. I think that Russia's just going to pound them somewhere. Someone's going to drop a nuke, right? The Chinese predicted it. They showed us on the map, and I'm just waiting for it. And I thought that this was crazy. I'm not going to play the clip because this is it'll try to hit me on copyright. But Joe Rogan reveals on his podcast what was being said between him and Trump during the whole UFC thing, and then like the terror attacks and all that. And he said that Trump cracked a pretty dark joke. You know, Joe was like, man, I'm glad we were safe, but all the stuff is scary with the terror attacks and the attempts and all that. And Trump basically said, oh, well, we got to die somehow. And Joe was like, what? Like, I'm not trying to die tonight, and he thought it was kind of a dark statement coming from the sitting president on a potential terror attack, killing people. And I'm just like, what do you expect at this point? This guy, Trump, I mean, dude, he's done some wild stuff throughout this past year. Everybody forget he portrayed himself as like the Messiah in an AI image, bringing Epstein back to life. Like, I mean, dude. And like, he didn't know that dude didn't look like Epstein in an image we tweeted. Like, get out of here. Like, so many different things, man. This guy's so full of himself, but I feel like blowback is inevitable here. Potentially Kev Bar. I know that America 250 is ongoing right now. I don't know if any of you guys are going to go up there to this, but just a big heads up. Like, we know the soccer matches are one thing to watch because they kind of telegraphed it all the way up to the final, MetLife Stadium. But this America 250, the Great America State Fair, is ongoing. It kicked off tonight. It's going to go to July 10th, I believe. So it's going to run all the way up through the 4th of July. It's going to have 150 different exhibits. Harley Davidson, John Deere, bunch of other exhibits are going to be up there. Normally, if this is going down anywhere else, I would say, okay, it might be something. But the fact they're having it in the Devil's Playground in their backyard is something I don't like. This is different than the UFC White House event. Think about this. The UFC White House event was a one-off thing, like a one-time thing, right? In one little area. You're talking this 250 is the entire mall, like loaded with concessions. There's a stand for every state and territory. It's going to be packed, and like, I can only imagine it's going to have some wild stuff. Now, you remember the video that we looked at earlier. They showed people reaching down and touching the water in the reflecting pool. If something breaks loose at this event, there should be footage like no other. There should be zoomed in cameras from every freaking angle catching it. No one should be able to get away with anything. You know, some patsy or whatever slip away. There's no way. Not there. That place is so locked down cold that it's scary. Because if something does happen, they're almost guaranteed to have a hand in it. And, outside of someone far out trying to drop a nuke on the place. But the world's a stage. Long as all these big wigs are in there, ain't nothing like that happening. And I'd say a ground event is the biggest threat. Ground event, shootings, bombs, stabbings, anything like that. And maybe more on, if you just want to cause chaos at one of these events. I'm not sure how the security is going to be around all this. So, if anybody goes, let me know. Wow. Oh my God. Oh my gosh. The destruction from the earthquake in Venezuela. Look right there. I mean, some buildings are completely gone. These others are like half collapsed. I mean, it looks like a war zone. It looks like a war zone. Prayers going out to everyone out there having to deal with that. I'm going to be dropping updates on X and on TikTok. If you guys are not following me on those places, I think you should. You're going to get exclusive stuff over there, over on X and TikTok, that you're not going to find. And you can actually drop messages on TikTok as well. So if they want to shut everything down like they did on YouTube, they want to shut it down on X, or force you to have to pay to be able to message, well, you're going to have some kind of backup, some kind of option. Hopefully all the streams went out smooth tonight on all the different places. I did add in Twitch tonight. I'll go back and I'll check that as well. And we're live on Rumble. Much love, everybody on Rumble. Quick look at the earthquake map before we get off that. We'll zoom here. My biggest issue is that there's been nothing since. No base maps available. What? How are you not going to have the base maps there? Okay. Never seen that before, but it won't go to satellite for me. And they just chopped 50 people off the stream again for no reason. I'm so sick of it. We were right over 900 and just chopped it straight to 850 flat, 8 climb back in. I'm sick of it. I'm so sick of it. It's every stream all night long. I'd love to know what I could reach like naturally without the censorship. I will say over on TikTok, that's been a surprisingly refreshing thing. I'm not censored yet there. I can like, when I post things, I can feel it. It runs free. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying, but I've been on social media for a long time. When I first got on YouTube, you could do that. You could post, and I'd get hundreds of thousands, millions of views. That won't happen around here anymore because they put you in a dungeon. Okay, over there, I can run. I'm running. So, hey, and like, there's no excuse to anybody out there. Like, for anybody, like, if you want to make something happen, make it happen. People are like, oh, I can't make this happen. I can't create this. I can't do nothing. Like, you got to make it happen. The only reason that I'm here now is consistency. I'm always here. Or people forget, trust me. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I'm always dropping videos. If somebody wants to create a channel on any platform, start doing it. Just do it. Because I can't do that. I can't do what you do. Well, you're never going to do anything if you say you can't. Like, just do it. All right? Just create an account and start posting things. Actually do it. You got to do something to fight the fight. Or sit there and do nothing. Or play video games. I know some people out there are wasting the moment. I'm telling you. You could be creating something. Creating a following, at least. Doing something. This ain't about money. The money, if it comes and follows, it's a plus. This is about fighting the fight. And like, anyone could be creating an account out there and just start dropping clips every day on anything, fighting the fight. It takes time. Okay? Nothing happens overnight. You know what I'm saying? It takes time. It takes an effort. So you hear people say, oh, I can't do this. Yeah, you can. You just gotta try. That's all I'm saying. Just gotta try. Much love again to everybody out there. Everybody that shares the stream. I appreciate it to the fullest. Make sure that you follow me over here on X. Where we at? Coming up on top of the hour here. I'm on thoughts, I guess, and shut it down. X is where I may add that into the cycle here. I've been refraining because I'm pissed off at Elon, and I'm live in all these other places, and I'm censored over there too. So it's like, thank you, Kev Bar, Tacos, Kenny G, Bullion, everybody that shares the stream. I do appreciate it more than you know. Again, make sure that you follow me on X, popping off mass stuff over there. I say it all the time. I don't never see my numbers move at all. I'm so censored. It's ridiculous. And Crocback Columbo, thank you for the super chat there tonight. You and Steely. Go over here. And Steely bought the coffee tonight. All right, well, I thank you. Again, Steely, and just a handful of you. If it wasn't for you, I'd get like no support. I appreciate it. More than you even know. Truly. And follow me over here on TikTok. Because I'm dropping clips you're only going to find there. All these earthquake clips that are exclusive, I'm going to be dropping over here. Yeah, man. Oh yeah, and I hit 1K. Hit 1K. Look, I set a simple goal over on TikTok, 50 posts, see if we could hit 1K. Did it. Nobody on YouTube helped me out. You can't say, oh, it's because you got a large following. No, it didn't. I told everybody on YouTube and like 2 people came over. Okay, so this is organic. Okay, it's not, I don't share all the links on YouTube or anywhere else on Facebook. It just posts there. It's organic. And when I tell you, you can do it too. For people that sit there and say they can't do this, can't do that, well, try it. See if, I mean, you don't know until you try. It's just ridiculous, man. All I ever hear is, I can't do this, can't do that. Well, If you build it, they will come. If you try, you will succeed. If not, you'll surely fail. But if you want it, you'll try. Anyway, I'm utilizing all these platforms as a weapon to reach people with the truth. Yeah, they're going to use it as a weapon right back and censor me, but we got to use every avenue. And that's what I plan to do. All right, then. I guess, I don't know. Chime in, let me know. Give me your thoughts in an email on the time slot here. If you're liking the 8, if I should go back to 9. And yeah, all right. I guess to take us out of here on that note, then. As I always say, if the Lord doesn't return in the coming days, I'll see you next time for some Underground World News Live. Much love and God bless. The legendary Eon. Again, man, you, Steely. Yo, legendary, man. I can't thank you enough. Thank you so much.